So you're an immigrant, you moved to the UK quite recently, and you've come from a background where land is the most common form of investment. Once you start making money in your home country, it's usually a land that you buy to like say, okay, this is an investment. But now you're in a country where it's kind of impossible to afford the land, especially when you're just new. But there are now other forms of investment that you can start as soon as you come in, and they would pay you a lot of money and they will pay you interest. And the most common one is buying stocks. So here is how I would start investing if I moved to the UK. The first thing you need to do is to get your national insurance number. You need this for working and for paying tax. So as soon as you come in, you apply for this and get it so that you can use it as a form of identification in so many other things. The step 2 would be opening a UK bank account. There are a lot of bank accounts you can open, and the good thing about the bank accounts in UK is there are usually no service charges. Like, when you send money, they take a set amount of money. There are usually no charges, which is really, really nice, and I really like. There's no transfer charges, there's no stamp duty and all those kind of stuff. So just open a bank account, and then if you like, you can build an emergency fund. This is the next step. This scenario is for someone that is currently working in the UK. So you've come in as a skilled worker or an immigrant, and it can also work for students as well, because obviously you're allowed to invest. But this is kind of the scenario we're looking at. You have a salary already. If you're a student, it does take quite long to get a job. You've started paying into your emergency fund. Now the next step is to assess your tax situation. So if you're paying a pension, I think your company should also add to that pension. The other one is the individual savings account, or ISA. At the moment, you can usually pay up to 20,000 a year every tax year. That's from April to April. So you can pay up to £20,000 tax free. That's the main point. That's where you would start saving. So now finally the investing part, you need to start small. Like if I'm the one, like start small, download apps like XTB, Trading 212, Free Trade, apps like that. You download, get registered. You might need some form of identification to get registered. You get registered, and then you start saving £50 every month, £10 every month, £20, and then use it to buy a stock in the app. You can use it to buy a stock. The one I personally invest in, and this is not financial advice, I'm not saying you should buy it, but the one I currently invest in is the S&P 500. Invest in that one and just keep buying it up every month. That is a very good way to start investing, because here we don't buy lands and there's no like houses and stuff that you can just buy. So it is stocks. That's the most common form of investment in the UK. So that would be a good way to start. If I came into the UK today, that's probably how I will start my journey. And if you need a more kind of in-depth video on this, follow me on YouTube. And then follow for more, give me a like, share, subscribe, and see you later.